Hey crafters, I'm back and we're gonna start a brand new canvas. While the Princess canvas is on its way from Tunisia to Germany, I am here in the United States and I'm gonna work on the night sky canvas. I have some links down below if you're interested in this one. And I think today I'm just gonna start working through this chunk right here. In my previous Draw With Me's, I like to focus on one item at a time, but this has just got a lot of really pretty colors, so I'm just gonna work section by square by section. So let's go ahead and get started. I have so much to tell you about. Okay guys, I'm gonna get started today. I'm actually gonna fill in this M symbol almost with the curvy top. I'm gonna start with that one. That is gonna be DMC 327 for me. And those drills are a dark purple. I'm starting in this bottom corner, so we're starting with a lot of dark colors. My light here is dark, but what you see on camera is a pretty good representation of what I see. And very funny story, as I was quickly packing up through Tunisia, getting all my craft stuff together, I thought I didn't pack a single drill tray, pen, or wax. And I found one toolkit in the I brought 4 diamond paintings with me. I found one toolkit because I made the mistake of unpacking all of my diamond paintings that I got, putting the toolkits all in one little plastic bin today, or plastic bin at a time. And because of that, this is what I'm working with. So I have a 1 spacer, but this one does not have a 3 spacer. So I'm just gonna be doing one at a time. I'm gonna go ahead and get some wax in here, and I have so much to tell you about. I barely even know where to start. These drills are actually like super clumped together. I'm gonna have to get a drill grinder. But yes, wow, okay. Let me see, I wanna make sure I know where I will be on camera. Okay, so that's probably as far as I can go as far as M's, right there. Making sure I'm getting everything lined up so I know my boundaries. Probably the highest M there. Okay. So this week was the week I officially moved from Tunisia to the United States. And as you kind of heard in my previous videos, I was really overwhelmed. I had so much work to do. I was really sad about leaving my friends, and you know, it just happened. It was like the passage of time. It just felt like things were moving faster than I was prepared for towards the end. And I did it. I traveled to the airport after saying goodbye to all my friends, crying my eyes out, and I started the journey. Now I want to tell you all about the flight. In fact, so much has gone on. So I had the flight here to the United States. I briefly mentioned in one of my videos a while back, just like a one-line throwaway, that I was gonna have a procedure here in the United States, and I did. I had surgery yesterday. And so I have all this stuff to tell you. This Drill With Me is gonna be the flight to the United States, which I've been on some pretty bad flights. It was not my worst flight ever, but I do believe it was my second to worst flight ever. Gosh, it was really bad. Oh, those are stuck together. It was really bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and telling about that actually afterwards. These drills are pretty dark. So the way it looks on the canvas, I have decent light in here, it's okay. But it looks pretty dark on the screen, but that's actually how this canvas looks. So we get to the airport and we arrive at about 11:45 for a 2:15 flight. And I wanted to leave later for my flight, but getting a car that late at night wasn't that easy, and we were able to get a car to the airport at 11:15. So that's a lot of time to kill in a small airport, and check-in went really fast. We had some friends at the airport with us, helping with the kids during check-in, and that way we could all say goodbye. And that was one of the hardest things I've had to do recently, having my friends there at the airport and hug them goodbye and knowing that we will see each other again one day, but not knowing when that day will be. But we said goodbye, and then we walked into like the customs immigration, did the passport check, and walked to the gate. And the girls were excited to go on the plane. I actually later, I feel kind of bad because I feel that they don't realize that we're not going back to Tunisia. They keep asking, like, when are we going to go back home? And it's like, well, home is Germany. And they're like, no, home to Tunisia. So I'm worried they don't understand the gravity of everything going on. But we're in the airport. We're in the Carthage International Airport Terminal, and we have a lot of time to kill before our flight. And there's like a little, one little snack sandwich stand there. I pick them up juice. I get the baby some juice. I get myself a drink, and we bought snacks. I think we bought Mentos. Mentos and lollipops. Those are the two candies they had there. This looks really dark. I might have to find a way to like spam this with light so we can see it better. Although when I turned on my overhead light, it left a lot of light glare on the canvas, and that just looked really bad. This is just a darker canvas, so it's not as light and vibrant as the ones, as like the princess one. So the girls drink their juice, and this is so important for me to say this correctly. They drink their entire bottle of juice and then decide that they want to go and play. And they start running laps around the benches in the terminal. So we have kids that are super hyped up, super excited, just drank a bottle of juice, and running. So I'll let you guess what happened next. One of my girls throws up just right there at the gate. Right there. She wasn't sick. It was just little kid, super excited, filled with juice, running around too much. And that was the first moment. Oh, I think that's a bad drill. I'm actually gonna take this drill out. That was the first moment when I realized this might be a little more than I can handle at the moment, because I'm very tired, because now it's past midnight. I haven't slept. They did take a nap, so they've got energy. The baby is cranky because he just wants to get back to sleep, and I just quickly get some napkins and clean up the puke. And just total like kid traveling moments. After that, they did the announcement a couple minutes later. Get prepared to board. Make sure you have your pass, and families that need assistance, and the usual boarding routine that they say. And that's when I hear, "Mama, I have to go to the bathroom really bad." And it's like, well, can we wait till we get on the plane? It's like, no, we have to go right now. It's like, oh my gosh, they're about to board the plane. Let's go really fast. So I get the kids to the bathroom, and I'm just trying to have a moment of, like, all I want to do is peace, calm, reflect on the fact that we're closing this chapter in our life, but instead, cleaning up baby puke, run into the bathroom. They quickly wrap up at the bathroom. We're able to get back to the plane before it's like fully boarding, and we get on the plane, and that was the time for everyone in their seats and really relaxing. And I just stared out the window and I just said goodbye, like, goodbye, Tunisia. I love you. I hope I get to see you again soon. And we took off. So the flight from Tunisia to Frankfurt was actually like one of the better parts of our day. And after a few minutes, everyone fell asleep, which made it even easier. I got a little bit of sleep in, but this is me being really paranoid because one, I don't sleep well on planes, and two, I was sitting next to two kids. My third child was across the aisle, and I just, she was sleeping. I was just in this half sleep and always kind of checking on her, making sure she was okay since she was just sitting across the aisle, but you know, that she didn't get up or the cart didn't hit her leg while the cart was passing by. Just looking out for her and in and out. I was getting some sleep, but that flight went really fast. And when we landed in Germany, I woke the kids up. They were super cranky, not happy, as they should be. I mean, they're little kids and all they want to do is sleep at the moment. I actually started writing all this down. But I got them off the plane. And if you've ever been to the Frankfurt airport, it is massive. And I think, I have one more M. I'm gonna have to get a drill grinder because these drills are really stuck together. I've done a canvas before with this company and I didn't have the drills stuck together like this. I did put a lot of dryer sheets because the drills were staticky, so I don't know if that's it, but I will be going and ordering a drill grinder. Gosh, that's a tongue twister for me. And I don't think there's any more M's, so I'm gonna switch colors. Put it back in my cute little Craftmate lock bowls, which I'm really loving. And let's see, what do I want to do next? So I've got like 6 on this. Do I have them? Okay, I'm actually going to do this little line with a line coming out of it just because it's really right next door to the one I just did, DMC 333. And after I get all these colors done, I'm going to talk to you about Frankfurt and our layover. Okay, I'm gonna pull the dryer sheet out of there. Oh, no. I'm gonna have to figure out the best way to pour drills out of these larger containers. So, shake, shake, shake. Oh, these have no sticking drills, not staticky, and they actually lined up really well. So let me show you this. Again, these are dark drills, but this is a dark purple. Actually, no. So in my tray, it looks like a medium purple, but on the screen, it's coming across as a dark purple. I wish I had a 3-spacer, but I don't. So Frankfurt Airport is very large. We landed in Terminal C, and we had to go to Terminal Z. And walking through the terminal with 3 kids that are tired, and then having to go through security again. All of that process was an hour. So we went from where we landed through security and we walked to the airport hotel. And I told you I was just gonna crash out. We're just gonna go right towards the airport hotel. I'm really glad I did it, but it did take an hour of our time, an hour of our layover kind of away from us since we landed so far away from where we needed to be. And when we got to the airport hotel, the kids were really excited to just kind of run around and play, but it was really nice. We actually got a room that had a baby pack and play in it. I put the baby in there. He could get out of the car seat, stretch around. I put his toys in, he played a bit. The girls had fun jumping around, but I told them, like, let's lay down. Let's have just a little bit of quiet time. I put the TV on, like trying to get them to watch a little bit of TV to at least stay in one spot and relax. And it really didn't take long before all 4 of us just fell asleep. And I think we were out for an hour and a half, and that really, really, really helped having that hour and a half nap. Just giving everybody some energy back. Now, when I said that this was the second to worst flight I've ever been on, that was the longer flight. So not the Tunis to Frankfurt. That flight we slept, it was pretty good. The layover, we had a 7-hour layover, spent a good chunk of it in the airport hotel. But what was really nice about that is since I've been through that airport so much, I just knew everywhere that I needed to go, and it's easy for me to get around there, even though it's so big. When we woke up, I walked all the kids to McDonald's, and from the hotel to the McDonald's, that is about a 10 to 15 minute walk, depending on how busy. It was pretty busy. There was no one in the terminal when we first got up, but that terminal was all flights to the United States. So as the morning went on, after our nap and we went back out, it was quite full. So it was about more of a 15-minute walk, and just because it's that packed. And we got McDonald's. The kids were really excited. They got a Happy Meal. They had a little toy and a Happy Meal. They were thrilled. They got chicken nuggets. I got chicken nuggets. And I actually walked them all the way back to the hotel room to eat, because I didn't want to deal with having to find a table. The place was actually so packed, the McDonald's did not have any empty tables. So we would have had to eat at a terminal anyway. So we just did the walk back and put our feet up and really just tried to enjoy the time that we had. And it went fast because of that nap. At first I was worried of, 7 hours in an airport with the kids, but the airport hotel was such a great rest for us. And even cooler, they don't charge for kids, so they only charge me for one person. So it was a lot more affordable than I thought it was going to be. So plus on that. But I checked out about an hour before our next flight boarded, because that was what I paid up until, because our terminal to leave Frankfurt, our gate was supposed to be all the way on the other side, like a pretty far walk. And as I checked out, I got a message from them, from the airline, that our terminal had been, I keep saying terminal and that's wrong, that our gate had been moved. So it was moved to the one right next to the airport hotel, which was great, less of a walk. But now I have an hour that I need to kill with the kids, and they just kind of ran around playing, acting a little crazy, which really they're about to get on a pretty long flight and they needed to get their energy out because they weren't going to be able to do it on a plane. So I just kind of sat with the baby while the girls just, again, ran circles all through the airport waiting area and all the seats that they have there. And then we boarded that flight. And that flight, I feel like, even talking about it right now, okay, that flight was pretty bad. So the first hour in the flight, now, actually, let me back up. I sit down, and the screen said it was going to be an 8.5-hour flight. Since I had all the kids with me, I did the early boarding stuff. So I ended up boarding about an hour before the flight really took off. So, that kind of adds the time that we're sitting in the seat. So now it's about 9.5 hours. But I looked absolutely ridiculous. So each girl had her own little backpack on with her things. I had 2 carry-ons. One was a backpack and the other was a smaller, throw over the shoulder diaper bag. I had the car seat stroller, which is the car seat which the baby sits on the plane, and this little device that kind of adds wheels and a handlebar to the car seat so you could push it like a stroller. And I was holding the baby. And if I had seen myself, I just would have been like, oh my gosh. I managed to carry all that through the check-in where you hand your ticket, down the walkway, onto the plane, into our seat. I get all the kids situated, and I'm trying to stay so positive. And there's a school group that's sitting in front of us, and they're being loud and bouncing around. And it was really sweet because I think it was some of their kids' first flight to the first flight in general, and then first flight to the United States and being with your friends. So that was really great and energetic to see. They're all bouncing around having fun. I immediately just teach the girls how to work the TV in front of them, and they're off. They're picking out movies they want to watch. They're good to go. The baby. I love him so much. He is at the age where he does not like sitting for a long period of time. He wants to run around and just be a baby and have fun. So at the beginning of the flight, he was doing pretty well. We get to the point where we're about an hour and a half into the flight. So 7 hours left. And I'm patting myself on the back. The girls are doing great. I feel like I am on this high, this energetic high, because I'm saying to myself, I'm going to do this. This has been really great. I'm going to fly across the world with the 3 kids on my own. I am going to get this done. And I'm really proud of myself, pumping myself up. And then about 10 minutes later from me having this internal monologue, the baby starts crying. And nothing, the snacks I brought him, the toys that I brought him, nothing makes him stop. He is just done in the car seat. He's frustrated. He's, still learning words, so he can't fully express what his needs are, why he's frustrated. And that crying pretty much continued for the next 7 hours. 7 hours, my Crafton friends. It was so rough. And I was just trying everything so hard. I was taking things out of the girls' backpacks. Anything I could do to get him happy, just keep him quiet. There were a few toys that I would give him, and he would calm down for maybe a minute and a half, and then it would just ramp back up. And I remember 2.5 hours into the flight, so 6 hours left, just thinking, like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I had already cried. Put my hands over my face, trying not to let any of the other passengers see me crying, because it's not that I felt lost. I just didn't know what to do. There was nothing to do. Nothing was working. And then at that point, with 6 hours left, one of my girls just starts asking, like, are we there yet? How much longer till we're there? And I'm like, baby, we are not even halfway there. So we've got a long way to go. And at that point, I was just picking a time and trying to get to that time, like the passage of time. That's the only thing that's going to end, that's going to get us to our final destination. So I kept watching the screen, and at one point I'm like, the halfway point. We need to get to the halfway point until we're 4 hours and 15 minutes in this flight, and there's 4 hours and 15 minutes left. And from 6 hours to 4 hours and 15 minutes left, I just watched the screen. I counted it down. And about halfway through the flight, at that 4:15, the baby had officially just cried himself to sleep. And that's really sad that he was so unhappy. And I'm doing everything I can. I'm taking him out, patting him on the back. I'm holding him. He was just done. But he falls asleep for, I think, about 30 minutes because I completely am exhausted and I drift off. But I'm awake by like 3 hours and 45 minutes, I think. So it was about 30 minutes. And then the crying just started again. And he cried and cried. And we get to 3 hours left of the flight. No, wait, let me back up. So we wake up at 3:45 hours left. About 3.5 hours left in this plane, we get an overhead announcement from the captain or the co-captain, I don't remember, letting us know that we were beginning to approach the northeastern coast of Canada and that a windstorm had previously passed through the United States up the coast, and we were going to be going through this windstorm, and they were expecting some serious turbulence, that the planes ahead of us had reported some serious turbulence. And they talked to us about, please stay buckled up, please secure all items. And I'm a nervous flyer. And they said we're going to enter about 30 minutes of very bad turbulence. So we hit some turbulence. I've been on a plane that was so bad It was a flight from Cairo to Madrid. And I thought this was it. I thought the plane was going to go down. And my husband was just like, we're going to be fine. And the plane is shaking and the lights are flickering. And he's like, we're going to be fine. You're being paranoid. But that was a really bad flight, that turbulence. And as I was walking off that flight, I saw multiple people had actually grabbed the flotation device from underneath their seats to prepare. So I was telling my husband, I'm like, see, it was so bad. You're trying to say it wasn't anything, but it was so. Anyways, so the turbulence on this flight over Canada from Frankfurt to Virginia, it was not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. I've been in worse turbulence, and it was shaky, but it was okay. And then about 3 hours left, the baby starts crying again. And at that point, we have gone through every toy. We have gone through every treat. There is nothing I have left that he hasn't already played with. At one point, I even gave him markers and I let him color all of his fingers just to keep him quiet for a minute or two at a time. And I realized this is when I give up. And I couldn't do anything. Nothing was helping. And I was just like, I need to face the fact this baby is going to cry for this whole entire trip. And he did. He continued to cry. One of my girls was just really good. She was just watching TV, playing with her dolls, coloring in her book. An hour and a half left of the flight. One of my other girls, she just lost it. She was sleep deprived. She was cranky, and she started crying and yelling and hitting and kicking. And she just wants, like, I want to get there. I want to get off the plane. And it's like, I can't help with that. There's nothing I can do. This is how much time is left. And she was just then being like really rude and disrespectful. So I've literally got the baby crying on one side of me and this toddler just kicking on the other side. And I was, again, just like the passage of time. I just need to get there. We just need to get to the airport and get out of here. And this story even gets worse. So the last 30 minutes of our flight, they're doing the whole preparing to land, put everything under your seat, make sure seatbelts are buckled. But then they say again, we're going to experience some bad turbulence due to some high winds in Washington, D.C. And I was like, okay, well, we had bad turbulence earlier and it wasn't that bad. This was the worst 30 minutes I have ever had on a flight. So this was bad turbulence. This was where you can feel, my camera is so zoomed in, you can feel the plane going and dropping in the air and correcting and quickly dropping and correcting over and over for 30 minutes. And I start to get motion sickness, and I'm just trying to look straight ahead and just keep myself together. And I did start to feel sick, but I didn't get sick, but I definitely felt sick. And that's when I started to hear it. Like, I hear these little paper bags rustling together and opening. And the only paper bag that is in your seat back on an airplane is the puke bag. And that's when you hear it, and that's when you smell it. The turbulence and the motion sickness was so bad that multiple people began throwing up on our plane. And I'm trying to not get sick, and I smell this, and there are at least 2 people that I know sitting around me that got sick. And you feel this plane correcting, and you just feel the heat. It's getting hotter because the plane is descending. It stinks. The baby is screaming, and it's comical. Now I can laugh about it, but it really was the worst 30 minutes that I've had in a long time. And we land. and people start getting off the plane, but I couldn't. I told the flight attendants, like, I feel really sick. I'm just going to sit here for a moment. And they weren't having any of that. They're like, but ma'am, we have to clear the plane. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to get up. I get all the kids. I get all their stuff. And I start unbuckling the car seat. I pick the baby up. And that's when I see and smell that within the past 30 minutes, when we're doing all this turbulence, because he was fine, he was A-okay and clean before we started descending, the plane started going to land, that he had a blowout diaper. I am motion sick. The place smells like puke. And I pick the baby up and there is like baby poop all over. And that's when I just start. That's when it happens. And what's it called? Like not dry heaving, or you're getting sick but nothing comes up. Yeah, that started on the plane. And I get off the plane and I just immediately get into a bathroom and I send a text to my family who's waiting, and I'm just like, guys, I think I'm going to be getting sick in a bathroom, so you might be waiting there a little longer. And they're just like, okay, Meredith, let us know how we can help. So I pull it together. I get the baby changed to where it was so bad. I take his pants off, throw his pants away, because there's no way I could wrap them up, put them in my bag, and like the diaper bag. It just wasn't going to happen. I got these pants on clearance for $2 at a Walmart, and I just had to say thank you, and I got to throw you away. And we go through the immigration, customs, the line. The line in Washington Dulles is always extremely long, and that was about an hour of the kids standing there in a cranky mood. They're just every 2 minutes. Are we done yet? Can we go? They're trying to run around immigration. It's like, guys, you can't do that. You have to keep it together here. But thankfully, when we got out of immigration, our bags were already there. So we just picked up our bags, walked out. I saw my family, and I was just so happy. So happy because it was done. The flight was done, and I was here. I landed. I was in the United States. And I look around, and it's like, wait a minute, we hired a super shuttle to pick us up from the airport, because we have a lot of bags, got a lot of kids, got the car seat, and there's no sign with our name on it. And I'm like, okay, maybe they're running late. And no, they were not running late. We go and find a super shuttle guy, and he's saying like, oh, don't worry, a shuttle's gonna be here. And hold on, chat break. I'm almost at the end of my story, so I wanna find a drill color that I don't have that many of, but it looks like I have a lot of everything. So I'm just gonna do this blue forward arrow right here. Do I have the blue forward arrow already out? Yes, I do. The blue forward arrow is gonna be 793. I'll show you what it looks like in my container, or in the drill tray. There we go. This one's a very pretty, I think, light blue. Show you how it looks on the tray. Yeah, it actually looks really good. That sparkle. And this is gonna be my pointing to the right symbol. So I'm looking around, and he's like, oh yeah, don't worry, we're gonna get this sorted, we'll figure it out, we're gonna get a car for you. So I'm a little angry. There's no car there. They're telling us like, just wait. We keep waiting, we keep asking. No car shows up. And then at one point he's like, 5 more minutes, just wait 5 more minutes. So I wait 10, and at this point it was 40 minutes total that we've been waiting. And they said a car was gonna show up because we prepaid and pre-tipped. So we're sticking around waiting for this car to show up. He said, wait 5 minutes. I go back after 10, and I'm like, look, what's going on? My kids are literally on the floor crying. They're so tired. I have to leave this airport. What's going on? Is there a car coming? And he's like, look, according to this, dispatch hasn't even sent your car yet. So I'm like, at this point, it's going to be at minimum another 30 minutes. And he's like, well, what you can do is you can call them and cancel and then, or let them know, and they'll call a taxi service and and it's like, no, I can't do all this. I don't have cell phone service in the United States. Like I'm just gonna leave. And we piled everything into the family's car and we left. But even the moment we got to the airport, it was still just more headache after that flight. And when we got home, like I got the kids settled. They were so excited to be the family house and run around. And I put the baby down to sleep and I fell asleep. I told my kids, I'm like, you can watch one cartoon and then go to bed. And they did. They usually always listen, but I passed out. And that was all on Monday, Sunday night into Monday. Oh, wrong symbol. And that, my crafting friends, was my trip back to the US. And when I say it was a bad trip, it was a bad trip. Now, I told my husband all of this and he was just like, I am so sorry. And he actually knew before I even told him that it was a bad flight, because he was watching on the flight aware website, and he said, I could see that the plane was slowing down. I saw the weather reports. I could tell. He's like, I could tell you were hitting turbulence, and I'm so sorry. And we have another flight scheduled for June, sometime in June. And part of me really wants to be like, okay, how about you are in the plane in the back with all the kids and you pay for me to sit in business. A little bit of a one flight break for mommy, since I just did that long flight all the way across the ocean. You can let me do the little 3.5, 4 hour flight in business. How does that sound? Now, I haven't presented that idea yet, but I think I'm gonna try. Wish me luck, crafting friends. Like I can afford business, but yeah, when I tell you, it's just, this has been a busy week because I honestly needed like 2-3 days just to recover from that flight, just to get myself back to normal. And then, so that was about Wednesday when I really started to feel a little bit more calm and relaxed. And then Wednesday, I also went out to Michael's, my first craft store visit. I was so excited. I probably looked like an idiot. I walked through every single aisle, was touching everything, had such a nice time. But it helped me so much feel more relaxed and just better. And then Friday I had my surgery. I had surgery here in the United States, and that's another really long story. Just, I'm totally fine. Nothing's wrong. Everything's A-okay. I just got a little something done that I can, and not plastic surgery, like a surgery on my leg. So I can fill all of you in on that during our next drill with me. So the way I'm going to do this canvas, since I'm not doing one little section at a time, we all kind of are crafting together. I will take times where I drill not on video. I'll have videos where I am drilling and chatting with you. And my goal is to just wrap this up. The day I have in my head is May 15th. I would like to finish this by May 15th. So if you're crafting with me or just kind of interested in the progress of this canvas, by May 15th, I hope to post a completed video. And I'm gonna get going right now. Hopefully I'll have this video up over the next day within a day of it being recorded. And let me know how you guys have been. I feel like I haven't had a chance to even log into YouTube, check out comments, just tell me what you're up to. And I'm gonna get going. I will just talk to you later. Bye, crafters.